In this video we're going to look at working with bullets. So we're going to start by looking at how the bullets are created. So we're going to create a bullet when the space key is pressed on the keyboard. You can use any key you like, but I'm going to use the space key. And what we want is wherever your main character is, that's where the bullet needs to be created. So let's go and have a look at how this is done. So I've already created my bullet object. So my bullet object is just a little white dot, okay, which is going to be your bullet on screen, on my bullet on screen. But as with most games, most of the code is going to be on my player object, because my player is generally the thing that's going to be interacting with the world. So I'm going to open up my OBJ player, and you can see I've already got quite a few events that are starting to take shape in here already. So this time I want to create a bullet, okay, when I click the spacebar, when I press the spacebar. So in order to do that, rather than using key down, because key down will keep on spamming bullets, it'll create repeated bullets over and over again. I'll show you what I mean. If I add an event and I use the key down event like before, as a matter of fact it's difficult to show you like this, to be honest. Actually I will show you like this, yes I will. Key down, space. Okay, so what do I want to happen when I click the space? Well, you've got to think about how it works in game. When I click the space bar, I want to create a bullet. Okay, so remember I said that anything in the game, okay, any of the objects are called instances. So what you want to do is to create an instance. So in the instance menu, okay, there's a little light bulb, which is by there. Okay, that is create instance. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag, and I'm going to drop in. It's asking me, what object do I want to create? So if I click on the little thing at the side, select a resource, and click objects, okay, it allows me to select what object I want to create when I press the space bar. I want to create a bullet. Okay, and now it's asking me, where do I want to create the bullet? Well, I want to create the bullet wherever my character is, my current main playable character. So I need to make sure I set the X and the Y coordinates to the current location of my player. So I needed to set it to where my mouse pointer is there, okay, and that is going to be, this is called OBJ player because this is the object, and it has an X and a Y value. So I'm looking for OBJ underscore player dot X and OBJ underscore player dot Y, and that will set the creation point to where my my playable character is in game. So I'm going to, in the X, I'm going to type in OBJ underscore player dot X. Okay, I'm going to also create OBJ underscore player dot Y, and that will create a bullet at this position, okay, when I press the space bar. So let's see if that works. It's not going to do anything though at the moment. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I mean about this key down business. So there's one, okay. If I hold down the space bar, okay, and I move, you can see this constantly repeating bullets, okay, and you don't want that, because you want, no matter how long you press the space bar down for, you want it to create one bullet only. So let's go back and change this event. Okay, so let's close this down. And it's a simple case. If you choose the wrong event, you right click, change event, and this time we're going to change it to a key pressed space. Okay, so you can see there's a different icon. So let's run the game and see what difference that makes. Right, so I'm still creating a bullet. I'm not creating in the right place though, but I'll come on to explain that in a minute. Okay, and again, now I'm going to hold the space bar down. Okay, but now when I move, it's still only drawing that one bullet. Okay, and that's until I press the space bar again. Okay, so that's the difference between key up and key down. Okay, so we've got that working. So we know it's generating a bullet. So how do I get the bullet to move? Well, same as I did with my monsters, I have my bullet object. Okay, and all I need to do is to give it a speed. So I just need to add a variable definition, and I'm going to add a variable called speed, like we did last time, and this time I'm going to get my bullet to travel at 6, and again it's an integer. So if I run the game now, nothing will happen until I press the space bar. Okay, so my character is moving about, and I press the space bar, and you can see my bullet is now moving. A couple of problems. Okay, firstly, even if I'm moving backwards, I'm still only shooting in the same direction. If you remember, when an instance is created in game, it always defaults to 0, which is to the right, and also my bullets are travelling through the walls, and they're also not killing monsters. So we'll deal with those in turn. So first off, we want to shoot in whatever direction we're facing. We only want to shoot left and right. We don't want to make the game too easy by allowing the character to shoot up and down. So this is how we do that. So when, let's close that down out of the way. When I move left and when I move right, so I've got the two open here, left and right. So when I click the key to move left, okay, the left arrow, it's setting the instance variable to -3, which is moving me 3 pixels to the left. What I want to do is also want to set a variable to tell the game maker what direction my character is facing. So I'm going to set a direction variable. So this is the set direction variable. We've used it before. So I'm going to drag it underneath my current command, and I'm going to set my direction variable to, if I'm moving left, it needs to be 180. Okay, so I'm looking at this one here. Alright, so I'm going to change that to 180. Okay, and when I'm doing the right one, okay, I want that to be 0. Okay, so I want to move it 0. So set the direction to 0. Oh, that's the wrong thing, I do apologise. Right, drag on the direction variable first, Mr. Webb, and then change that to 0. Okay. Right. So we're done with this little bit for now, so let's close that down. Okay, and then close that down. Now we want to go and do some work with the bullet, because we've told the Game Maker that we want to use that direction variable, but we need to tell the bullet what direction it needs to travel when it's created. So if we go on to add event, we've got a create event. So when it's created, we're going to give it the direction variable that we set in the player object. So I'm going to create a create event. Okay, and again I'm going to set a direction variable, because you've already got a variable called speed, if you remember. And we're going to call the direction variable is going to be the direction that the character is facing. Okay, so it's going to be obj underscore player, because that's my player's name, dot, and I'm going to use the variable direction. Remember I said that a variable is like an envelope that holds a value? Well, this envelope is called direction, and it's holding the value that the character is facing in the direction. So I'm just going to use direction. If I'd have called it cabbage, then I would put obj underscore player dot cabbage. Okay, it's just whatever name you've used to store that value. Okay, so that's fine. That's that done. So now when I run the game, I should have a character that can move left and right and shoot left and right. Okay, so you can see that it's shooting in different directions. Okay, let's deal with this issue with the bullet coming from my feet. I don't want it coming from my feet. That's something to do with the settings that we've got on the sprites about where the anchor point is on the sprite. So let's have a look at what's going on with both the bullet sprite and my player sprite. Okay, so my player sprite has got the anchor point set to the middle of the object. You can see the anchor point there. Okay, my bullet has got the anchor point up here. Okay, so it's firing from there. That's where it thinks the center of the sprite is. So what I need to do is to tell it where the center of my sprite is, and the center of my sprite is in the middle of this white box. So I can click and I can drag and I can roughly put that in the center, and now when I run the game, hopefully it should be a little bit more realistic in the fact that the sprite is coming from my hands instead. Okay, I got a problem about the character reversing. I'll show you that in the next video, but for now I also want to show you how to create how to stop the bullets, to destroy the bullets when they hit the wall. Okay, so what I want is on my bullet object, so close these down so we don't get confused. So there's my bullet object. I'm going to create a new event for collision. So what happens when the object collides with the wall? Okay. Well, this is a very simple one. What I want to do, if the bullet collides with the wall, I want it to destroy the bullet. So again, in the instances box, there's a rubbish bin there, destroy instance. So you destroy an instance and remove it from the room. I'm going to click and drag that on, and now when I run the game, I should find that my bullet disappears when it hits the wall, and it does. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to remove monsters from the screen when they're hit by bullets, and I'm also going to show you how to reverse the character when it moves left and right, because at the moment it stays pointing right whether it's moving left or right.